So you've had a chance to see Steve Ballmer in action. You've had a chance to discuss it with your classmates. One of the implications of that video, one of the things that many people take away, is the importance of the nonverbals. It's not just what he's saying, but it's how he's saying it, these nonverbals. So before we go forward, and I'll show you other examples as we go along, but I want to take a step back and first talk about the importance of these nonverbals. My colleagues around the world and I have been studying these nonverbals for many years now, and in particular the importance of nonverbals in communicating your vision in a way that inspires and motivates people to want to get behind you. And what we're finding is that up to about 60% of the meaning of your message, in this case your vision, is actually conveyed by your nonverbals, not your verbals. And so it's critically important that you are very aware and attentive to the nonverbals that you are bringing to that interaction. In the case of Steve, you see somebody who's very loud, gregarious, very extroverted, very boisterous. But at the same time, his colleague, Bill Gates, who is also extremely effective at communicating a vision, does so in a very dramatically different way. Much more reserved, much more introverted. And so it's not simply about being loud or extroverted. You can be introverted and be very effective at communicating your vision to your audience. It's not just about being loud. What it is about is these keys to success listed here. In the research that we've been doing, we've identified 3 critical success factors around nonverbals that are hugely important for your ability to communicate this inspiring, motivating vision. The first one is to vary your tone, your intonation of your voice, as well as the volume and pitch. So it's not simply about being loud or soft, but what you want to do is vary the volume and the pitch of your voice to keep people engaged. In the Robin Williams Dead Poets Society clip that I had you watch earlier, you saw him do exactly this. There were times in that video where he's very loud, very boisterous, using language that captures people's attention very quickly. At other times when he wants to capture their attention, he gets very soft. He huddles them up. And it's that variation in tone that really keeps your attention. What I'm going to do now is show you a short clip of a 1940s film. The protagonist or the lead character in this film is Charlie Chaplin. It's actually one of the few films that he ever made that wasn't silent. And in this film, he's giving a speech. And what I'd like you to do is pay attention to how he varies the tone, the pitch, and the volume of his voice. Ask yourself, why does he do this? What is the result of him varying the volume? At one point, he has a crescendo where he gets very engaged, very loud. His body language changes, his facial expressions change, and then he gets very soft. I'd like you to understand, or at least think about, why is he doing that and what is the effect? So let's cut to the clip, show it. Go to the discussion forum, Charlie Chaplin sharing his vision in the Great Dictator film. Share your perspective, your reflections, your thoughts with your fellow classmates about what you see. Is it effective? Why or why not? And then we'll come back together and keep discussing these nonverbals that are critical to your success.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!